8 recap video. We are halfway through the season here now, week 8 of our Perfect World 2020 redo, where we are re-simming the entirety of the NFL season with no injuries, no opt-outs, no COVID. Actually, injuries are turned completely off, so just strength on strength for the entirety of the season. So Thursday Night Football saw the Panthers beat the Falcons. That was probably a pretty easy one. We watched live on another video as the Titans barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20 to remain undefeated. The only undefeated team left in the league at 7-0 are the Tennessee Titans. Raiders beat the Browns. That was a tough game to watch for us, 37-30. Browns fall to 4-4, unfortunately, in that one. How about this one? Indianapolis 34-7 over the Detroit Lions. Vikings had a tough one to the end. Packers come out victorious 37-34. Patriots and Bills also a tight one, and the Patriots take the win by 1 point and further cement themselves into first place in the East, as we will look at in a moment. Kansas City continues their winning ways, now 4 in a row winners after beating the Jets. Rams take care of the Dolphins. Jaguars lose to the Chargers, who continue to score points. Bears beat the Saints. How about the Bears continuing to startle some people? We watched this one as well. Seattle 27, San Francisco 18, handing the 49ers their second loss of the season. Philly beats Dallas 21-17, and on the Monday night game, finally the Buccaneers getting back into the win column, really struggling early in this season with a 31-15 win. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the standings, and then we will take a quick look, of course, at the stats, as we will do every 4 weeks, kind of a quarter of the season ending. So AFC North, Steelers, who were on bye, and Ravens, who were on bye, 4-3. Browns and Bengals both 4-4. Ravens 3-4. So this one's still anybody's race here early and halfway through the season. Again, we told you Titans 7-0, Colts 5-2. Texans 4-3, so a lot of teams over 500 in that division. AFC East, again, we told you the Patriots with a stranglehold now after beating the Bills, and the Bills are on the struggle bus right now, and I don't know what's wrong with them. Looks like they're giving up a bunch of points, as they've lost now 6 straight games after starting 2-0. Something's got to give there in Buffalo. AFC West, Chiefs now after 4 straight wins are 5-3. Chargers 500. Other teams hanging around. In the NFC North, Packers are 6-1. Bears are 5-3. Vikings and Lions struggling. Panthers are 6-2. Everybody else under 500. Again, we talked about the Buccaneers really struggling, but that's 2 wins in a row for them, so starting to piece it together. NFC East, very tight, and again, maybe an under 500 or 500 record wins this division. Cowboys at 4-4. Everybody else under 500. And out west, where the strength of the league continues to be, Seahawks beating the 49ers in that head-to-head matchup, so they're 6-1, 6-2, 6-2, and 4-3. NFL power rankings, of course, the Titans are going to be number 1, as they just have the 0 in the L column. Seahawks and Packers are the next 2 there. Quickly, let's take a look. Your worst offenses right now: Giants, football team, Dolphins, and Buccaneers. Again, for some reason, I just don't get it. Your best offense is Chargers, 247. They are scoring points like gangbusters, but only 4-4. Packers, Chiefs, Bears, and Patriots. How about the best defense? That's your Titans, of course, your Steelers, your Rams, your Colts, your Cardinals, filling out those top 5. Your worst defense right now: Dolphins, Jets, Falcons, Chiefs, Vikings. Is part of the reason the Chiefs struggle so much, but they are over 5. They are swinging the correct way now, finally. So far. All right, it is week 8, so again, every quarter we went through the stats, so let's go ahead and do those right now. We will do the stats really quickly for you here, and we will do the entirety of the NFL. So passing downs, there he is. We've seen him. He's throwing the ball all over the yard. Baker Mayfield, 2789, leading by almost 400 yards, almost exactly 400 yards over Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold, Pat Mahomes, rounding out the top 6 there in that category. How about who's throwing the ball the most? And it is Baker Mayfield at 329. So that's something we're still trying to figure out, is to get him to stop throwing the ball so bloody many times. All right, how about touchdowns? Justin Herbert, again, we talked about them scoring a bunch of points. He's at 23, folks, as a rookie. Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr at 19. Goff, Newton, Trubisky. How about Mitch Trubisky trying to play his way into that job? interceptions on the other side of things. Jimmy G, we saw, he's got 13. Tua's got 13. Kirk Cousins with 12. 11 for Burrows and Daniel. And then you get Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. Of course, we've documented his struggles. Sam Darnold in the double-digit club. How about passing completion? And again, not these people that have went past, but there's Baker Mayfield. 82% of his passes so far this season for Baker, which is just ridiculous. 75 for Wilson, 73 for Rodgers, Rivers, and Tannehill. The other ones over 40. But how about this? How many sacks have they taken? Matthew Stafford with 32, Roethlisberger 32, Tua with 31, and then Baker Mayfield with 30. So again, the dreaded shuffle sack that we've been trying to get rid of. Herbert, Garoppolo, Rivers, all taking a lot. Sacks are up definitely this year so far in the sim. All right, heading to the rushing category. Let's take a quick gander. Your leading rusher is Zeke Elliott, 704. Mostert we've seen a couple times, 667. CMC 650. Josh Jacobs 648. Derrick Henry are your runners above 600. We will look at the Browns' individual stats here in a minute. Touchdowns on the ground. Christian McCaffrey with 7, 6 for Fournette. Mike Davis, how about that? Mike Davis and right there, some rushing touchdowns in Carolina. Then we have Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones there rounding out your top. How about the leading fumbler in the league right now? That's Phillip Rivers and Alex Smith and Baker Mayfield. So they're all quarterbacks who continue to drop the football when they get sacked. How about Joe Mixon leading the league in broken tackles with 35, Cam Akers, Todd Gurley, Chris Carson, Ezekiel Elliott. It's like a throwback list of running backs here for a minute. So there you go. Receiving yards. Let's go ahead and start with catches. Your leading receiver is Austin Hooper with 58 catches, then Amari Cooper. So Hooper and Cooper, Jarvis Landry. Again, Baker's throwing the ball a bunch. A lot of receptions there happening for those teammates. Burton, Keenan Allen, Uzama, Fuller, Perryman, Woods, Beckham right there again. So 3 Browns in the top. There's Kittle, there's Kelsey, Mike Evans, etc. So crazy things happening in Cleveland throwing the ball, which is just nuts. Cooper leading in yards over Allen, Hopkins, Wilson, and that's Beckham, who did lead the category 3 weeks ago. How about receiving touchdowns, you ask? That's 8 for Hunter Renfrow, 7 for Eifert, Mike Williams, Beckham, Graham, Cooper Kupp, and Sammy Watkins, all with 6. How about, do they give me drops? They're not going to give me drops in this category, I'm afraid. All right, let's take a quick look at the defensive stats. You know I'm a sucker for defensive stats. How about tackles here? Fred Warner, 84. B.J. Goodson for the Browns at 83. Kendricks, 82. Jayon Brown, 78. Tremaine Edmonds, Carl Joseph at 77. So that pair of quote-unquote linebackers there in the middle with Goodson and Joseph getting themselves a lot of tackles. How about TFLs? It's DeMarcus Lawrence with 11, and then Jalen Smith with 10, and then Adama. It's a lot of pressure behind the backfield with those runners. How about 19 sacks for Miles? He is just feasting right now. Carl Lawson with 10. Nobody else has more than 10. 9.5 for Nick Bosa. 9.5 for Calais Campbell, TJ Watt, Chandler Jones, Khalil Mack, Bradley Chubb, and Von Miller. Broncos teammates Aaron Donald, Joey Bosa, Clowney, Davenport, Za'Darius, and Alden Smith. Those with 6 or more there. Miles is just absolutely roasting people right now. How about interceptions? Let's take a quick look. 6 for Desmond King, Jalen Ramsey, and Adoree Jackson with 5. Roby Coleman, Shaq Griffin, Stephon Gilmore, Tre'Davious White, and Kenneth Murray with 4. It's that rookie linebacker, Kenneth Murray. How about pass deflections? Shaq Griffin's been all over it. Will Jackson, and then Greedy Williams with 7. How about that? How about forced fumbles? Let's look at that stat particularly right here. 4 of them for Bobby Wagner, James Bradbury, Hitchens, and Rashad Fenton. So forced fumbles for those teammates there. And we'll just look at how many people have been in the end zone. Anybody doing them more than once? Yes, Desmond King, Tre'Davious White, and Taron Johnson. How about the Bills? 2 teammates right there. And here's are the rest of the defensive touchdowns. Oops, just kidding. That's the last of the defensive touchdowns. All right, just for funsies, let me see if there have been any kick or punt returns. Oh, there have been in the sim. I haven't seen any. Apparently there have been 3 kick returns. Dante Pettis, Cordero Patterson, and Jamal Agnew. And then in punt returns, there have been none. So, oh, nope, one for Tyreek Hill. There you go, I stand corrected. So apparently they do happen, they're just not happening to us. All right, very quickly, again, you wanted to see all of the Browns players, and I get that because we're all Browns fans here. Keenum hadn't been in yet. We already looked pretty extensively at Baker. Here's where we're still trying to get some things going. 101 for 447 is not where we want to see Chubb. 86 for 314 is not where we want to see Hunt. And those 6 rushing touchdowns total just not going to be where we want to see it. Let's talk about catches first. Again, we already talked about the top 3 with Hooper, Landry, and Beckham, and then there's Chubb, who's got quite a bit more than Hunt. There's Higgins, DPJ, Njoku, Bryant, Natson, Jano, Dearness Johnson, and Marvin Hall as well. And again, we already know that Beckham is the leader in yards. Behind him is Hooper and Landry. Here are the receiving touchdowns. How about Donovan Peoples-Jones? 3 receiving touchdowns and 15 catches. It's pretty good. They've had some pretty nice long plays, haven't they? 65 for Peoples-Jones. We saw that one just a couple weeks ago. That was a nice play as well. Blocking, let's not look at this, but we'll just find out. This is ridiculous. Wyatt Taylor's given up 8. Wills has given up 8. Conklin's given up 5. Antonio's given up 4. And Treader has given up 2. I'm not sure how I feel about those, but there we are. Tackling, we already saw Goodson and Joseph at the top, then Money Mitch, then Delpit, then KJ, then Garrett, then Harrison, and Greedy Williams, all over 40 in total tackles. TFLs, we've got 5 for a whole bunch of players: Goodson, Joseph, Money Mitch, Miles, and Sheldon. And again, we already talked about Miles' sack feast right now, but 9 for Vernon as a nice compliment. 8.5 for Larry O, trying to get himself re-signed. Sheldon, Carl Joseph, Claiborne, and Guston as well. Interceptions for the Browns, we've got 2 for Denzel and 2 for Carl Joseph. Money Mitch, Greedy, and Taki combining. Forced fumbles for the team, just 1-2 for Larry O. 3, 4, 5 so far. Have we had any defensive touchdowns? I don't know if we have. We have had no defensive touch. Nope, we have 1 for Sheldon Richardson, who apparently returned a fumble for 18 yards, and I'm forgetting about it off the top of my head. Kicking so far, Parkey 13 of 15. He's hit a 50-yarder. He's perfect on his extra points. Punting the ball, Gillen averaging 41.5 with a net of 36.6 with a long of 57. And again, our kick returns have been woeful. JoJo averaging 23 a pop with a long of 28, and he's averaging 3 a pop with a long of 8 in punt returns. So that is the Brown stats, and that is all of the stats here for this week. We appreciate you with you being on. If you're curious about it, we will start taking just a quick gander here now halfway through the season. Your MVP leaders: Herbert, Cam Newton, Goff, and Myles Garrett, and then Aaron Rodgers. Coach of the year right now, Mike Vrabel. Obviously, hard to argue with that, as his team is undefeated. In the AFC, Herbert leading Baker Mayfield in a 6 in Offensive Player of the Year voting. Miles should win that hands down unless something bad happens. Offensive Rookie, clearly it's going to be Herbert. Defensive Rookie, how about that? Kenneth Murray as well, playing some good football. Best QB, we get it. Best running back right now, Melvin Gordon over Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb above Derrick Henry, though. It's probably because of the catches that Nick Chubb has, adding to his allure. Odell right now in line for best receiver. That would be fun. Quentin Nelson right now, the only Browns lineman on here is Wyatt Teller, and he's at 6th. Myles Garrett obviously going to be best D-line. Linebackers probably not going to have Goodson on this list anywhere. Nope, he's not. Best DB, a couple of Titans, couple of Bills up there. AFC East represented pretty nicely, and then Rashad Fenton. And the best kicker is going to be Harrison Butker. And then finally, we'll go through the other side to Jared Goff, right now set to be Player of the Year in the NFC, and then get promptly traded. Jalen Smith, Defensive Player of the Year. Antonio Gibson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's playing some good football for Washington. Terrell Burgess, we've seen him. He's played very well for the Rams on the defensive side of the football. Aaron Rodgers, best QB, no guess, which is funny that Jared Goff would be the rookie, or would be the Offensive Player of the Year, but Aaron Rodgers would be best QB. Zeke Elliott, of course, we already talked about his success. Nuke Hopkins is just absolutely sick. Best O-line, Bakhtiari, good to have him blind and protecting that blind side of Rodgers. Nick Bosa leading the best defensive lineman, along with Cam Jordan and Ndamukong Suh, and then Aaron Donald down there. Again, Nick Bosa, if healthy, what could he have done this season? Jalen Smith, best linebacker over Chandler Jones, Leonard Floyd, and Levante David. Jalen Ramsey, best DB over Roby Coleman, and Griffin. Is Young Hoo Koo, and that's it. Too long. Appreciate you being on. Again, you can check out the Discord link in any of these videos and have an opportunity to vote on the games of the week, which Kit will put that poll together for us here in just a little bit. So appreciate everybody. Thank you to all the subscribers. You guys are absolutely awesome. Browns are on bye this week, so we'll just be bringing you the AFC and NFC games of the week. Encourage you to check those out when we bring them to you, most likely live on Tuesday. Until then, go Browns!